All right, it's the worst of times this week after Hurricane Harvey, but we've seen the best of humanity and of America. People from all walks of life coming together after this catastrophe. I personally have never seen anything like it. In the wake of this, we can stop maybe all the divisive politics that we're going to see in Washington as Congress comes back to work. Do you think it could possibly transfer? We got an esteemed panel of 8 people that I like more than Ainsley does. Trust me, even though she said she loved you at the end. I'm going to go through one by one. First off, I'm watching Texans coming together. Texas is known, and by the way, I'm talking to Hope, right?
Yeah.
Hope Houston. Texas is known for Democrats and Republicans, not much of a difference. Do you think America can learn from what we saw?
Oh, absolutely. This is a great moment for us to come together as a nation. We can put aside our petty politics and identity politics and fighting and really come together. We're all Americans. We're suffering together. We're going to help each other. We have generous hearts and helping hands, and we're ready to just come together as a nation.
Carla, so the problem is it's a good idea, but we're already seeing when it comes to tax reform, we're already seeing when it comes to money for these victims, both parties taking sides. So as you're a conservative, right?
Yes, I am.
Do you think do you think that this could be a change moment?
This can be a change moment. It must be a change moment. We live in a republic, so I'm not looking to the leaders right now or Congress. I think that we need to look at the American people and what we are doing. It's always been the American people that rise up and do good, and then maybe the leaders in Congress will take our lead and start being civil to one another.
Right, Daryl St. George, you a person who harkens himself more to the left, might look to see if the Democratic Party will finally get over the election and maybe start trying to get something done.
Well, I think Democrats, but Republicans too. I think Republicans are unhappy with the outcome of this election too. But, you know, as I was saying in the previous segment...
You think Republicans are upset with President Trump?
I think so, certainly. But I think that there is no one event that defines us as a country. There have been a series of events throughout our history, 9/11, for instance. That was an event that inspired me to enlist in the United States Navy. You remember the bumper stickers that said, "United we stand." So
right.
Last week was Charlottesville. This week it's Harvey. What's it going to be next week? I think that the lessons we have to take from Charlottesville, from Harvey, is that in the end, we're Americans.
Right.
Forget about Republican and Democrat, and there's a certain common bond that we have to build off.
And guess what? We're all different, David. And we saw the difference between the vice president and the president. And the vice president's a guy that he likes to hug people. He's very in touch with his emotions, like a Bill Clinton and maybe like a George Bush. But you have Donald Trump, who wants to take charge and help people, but he has a different approach. He's getting criticized for his different approach. Maybe he's more like Dick Cheney.
Right. Look, we have to take everybody for the skills that they have. So the president, hopefully he will carry through with his doing approach, getting things done, and then you have the vice president to compliment him, to show the compassion for people,
right,
to show the empathy. Because
why are we judging? I don't understand, Tiffany. Why are we judging people by their actions in time of crisis instead of accepting who they are? Well, I'm afflicted with being half Irish. I haven't shown emotion since 1971. Right?
Well, I tell you what, Brian, I just literally landed back from Houston, and when people are out trying to be rescued, nobody is thinking about identity politics or hard party lines.
Did that surprise you?
No, it doesn't surprise me. When you are in need of help, you don't care what somebody's personal identity or hard lines are. You just need help. And so I think that our politicians can learn a lot from neighbors loving and helping neighbors,
right,
locking arms together and serving in times of need.
David, I got my stuff burned when I had no money, and then I have a family, and I got it flooded, and there's really no difference. Whether you have money or a big house or a small house you're renting, when you're wiped out, you're starting from the same place. And do you think that people of Houston are realizing that if they didn't already?
Well, unfortunately, they are. I mean, when tragedy hits, people need people to be there for them. You know, and right now, in the last segment, I talked about the politicians. I'd also like to speak out to the media, because the media has a responsibility to come together as well.
Absolutely.
You know, we talk about the division, and unfortunately, sometimes it depends on what channel you're watching as to the perspective that you get. But that needs to change as well.
Kathy, have you ever seen more of a division when it comes to media in your life? It is like when I flip around, I'm watching a different country.
Yeah, you know, my son just finished reading the book Alice in Wonderland, and I asked him, what happens when you fall down the rabbit hole? He said, rabbits start speaking. Everything starts getting really crazy and upside down. And that's kind of where we find ourselves. But when we look at the American people, it's Americans who are helping Americans right now, regardless of the color of their skin or what their ideology may be. We're coming together. So we're not the problem. Mainstream media and politicians are the one who are stoking the division.
Right, Heather, it's like Washington, Los Angeles, and New York think they understand what the American people want until you actually talk to the American people.
Well, and talk to each other, right? We have to be, this is not going to be easy. You know, it's easy for us to say these things, but you have to be willing to listen, have to be willing to be vulnerable. We see the vulnerability in Houston right now, and that's where people come together, like after 9/11, after big disasters. We have to be willing to be vulnerable with each other on a day-to-day basis and be brave enough to do that.
Right, Tiffany, you know what concerns me most, possibly over the last 10 years, it didn't really concern me prior, because I thought we were on the right course, is this whole destroying of our history, running from the past, saying, I want that statue down, I want this out of my books. Does that bother you?
Well, it definitely concerns me. I think that there are a host of issues that are extremely impactful to different communities. I won't brush it aside and say that it doesn't matter. I mean, if you're the one that's being offended by the presence of something that is meant to exalt a horrible portion of our past, that's one issue. However, there are so many systemic issues that we really need to focus on, not just little things that are not putting books in. I mean, there are children who are going back to school next week who don't have textbooks. Why don't we deal with that?
Absolutely. And the thing is, why are we correcting the past when we have so many problems here today? And Daryl, someone who joined the military because you knew America had to take action, how much are you concerned, if at all, with the way the rest of the world views us?
Well, you know, I'm a veteran, but I'm also a public educator, and I'm running for local office. And I think that all politics is local, and you know, internationally, the way people are looking at us right now, this is an important time. We need to show the world that we are Americans, that we are a great country, and what makes us great is that we're there for each other. I see that in the classroom, and I saw that on the battlefields of Afghanistan.
Right. Now, you have to think is also, at the same time the president's dealing with this, David, the president's also dealing with North Korea, then a reverse display of military might from South Korea and Japan. At the same time, has to be concerned about what's happening overseas as ISIS is now forced out of Iraq.
We have so many problems in this world, and we can only hope and pray that that the president can focus in on the problems abroad, the problems domestically, and not get bogged down with nonsense.
You know, it was 2 hours ago when Ainsley had you out here together, and she ended her segment, and she said she loves you. And I like to say, I love you more. On behalf of them.
We love you
more. Can I finish my segment, please? Unbelievable. All right, thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Have a great holiday weekend. All right, thousands of texts.